So welcome to Little Literature. Already நம்ம வந்து PGTRB old question paperல 2001 பார்த்துட்டோம். இன்னைக்கு நம்ம பார்க்க போகிற question paper 2002 to 2003. Let's start. The logical thinking is convergent thinking. Anarchy theory of intelligence was advocated by Thorndike. Which one of the following is not in the scoring category of Roche's inkblot test? Dominance. The chief profounder of the theory of identical elements in transfer of training was Thorndike. What is the educational significance of Article 45 of the Constitution of India? Importance of universal primary education. Sainik School in Tamil Nadu is located at Amravati Nagar. Why has examination was a opinion of A.S. Nail. Chloric group of people are those whose temperamental characteristic is one among the following: emotionally weak. Which article of Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that everyone has the right to life, liberty and security of people? Article 3. The first principle of true teaching according to Sri Aurobindo is nothing can be taught. Nothing succeeds like success is an illustration of the law of effect. When you perceive something when there is no stimulate, it is known as hallucination. Intellectual and forcible advance of painful tendencies from the field of consciousness is called suppression. Three concepts that characterize concrete operation are compensation, reversibility, and identity. Roger's inkblot test is the most popular test for personality. Who is associated with the transformative generative grammar Noam Chomsky? Which of the following is not written by Congreve, the rivals? Wilfred Owen is generally considered a war poet. She is a moon, but she is also everybody's moon. Through these lines, Andre Del Sarto is referring to his wife. Who wrote Martyr Arthur? Tennyson. The great vowel shift took place in the early modern English period. The famous dictionary of Johnson was brought into year 1755 AD. Dr. Faustus was an adaptation of Goethe. Samson Agonistes was written by Milton. The technique of personification is used in Ode to Autumn. Which English king was associated with the publication of authorized version of Bible? James I. Bernard Shaw wrote his plays on the subject of correct pronunciation. Pygmalion. Tom Jones was written by Fielding. Who does not appear in the play Alchemist? Love. But at my I always hear time's winged chariot hurrying near. Who wrote the above lines? Marvel. The observation, age cannot wither here, about Cleopatra was made by Enobarbus. Who wrote the play, The Spanish Tragedy? Thomas Kitt. Milton's Paradise Lost is an epic. The Woodhouse appears in the novel Emma. Which of the following falls into the group of Roman plays of Shakespeare? Antony and Cleopatra. Tagore's Gitanjali appeared in the year 1912 AD. Who of the following first used the term the theatre of absurd? Martin Ellison. Significant contributions were made by one of the following of the group of vocabulary. Bible. The essay of dramatic poesy is in the form of a dialogue. Who wrote the following words? If poetry comes not as naturally as the leaves of the tree, if had better not come at all. Keats. The American scholar was addressed by Emerson in the year 1837 AD. Who wrote An Apology for Poetry? Sidney. Chevy Chase is a ballad. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately. Who wrote these lines? Thoreau. Sylvia Plath is noted for her confessional writings. Who wrote the essay Dance of Shiva? Ananda Kumarasamy. Who is the playwright noted for his absurd plays? Beckett. The love poem of Spenser is Epithalamia. When Johnson remarks before the greatness displayed in Milton's poem, all other greatness shrink away. He is referring to Paradise Lost. Dorothy and Celia appear in the novel Middlemarch. Christ Hospital 5 and 30 years ago is about a school. Standard English rose from the following dialect: East Midland. Oh, it is excellent to have a giant's strength, but it is tyrannous to use it like a giant. Who speaks these lines? Isabella. In the first My first acquaintance with poets, Hazlitt did not meet Donne, who is associated with word tension. Alan Tate. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? Who wrote the above lines? Shelley. Which of the following is not example of portmanteau words? Television. The pen name of Elia was adopted by Charles Lamb. Among the following, who is not the primarily a playwright? Chaucer. Because I Could Not Stop for Death was written by Emily Dickinson. Who is narrator or in Wuthering Heights? Ellen Jean. Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire was produced in 1947 AD. Forgiveness and reconciliation is the theme of The Tempest. Destruction was brought both created and has been profounded in few by Derrida. Which of the following is the agony for the press? You and I. Cry the Beloved Country is a novel about the society of Kenya. Identify which is not an one act play by Edward Albee, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. A man can be destroyed but cannot be defeated is the message of the novel. The Old Man and the Sea. Who wrote the poem Pulley? Herbert. Honor is the watchword of Hotspur. Helen of Troy appears in the play Dr. Faustus. The press is called the Fourth Estate. Which of the following system of value is used in All for Love? Roman law. The Rape of the Lock is a mock epic. Which of the following does not belong to Indo-European family? Tamil. The other author of the book Wings of Fire is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The memory of the computer is commonly expressed in terms of kilobytes or megabytes. A byte is made up of 8 binary digits. The World Cup football these are the general English questions that based on 2002. Okay, the World Cup football 2002 has been won by Brazil. The capital of Uttaranchal state is Dehradun. The temple tower found in Tamil Nadu government state symbol is located in Srivilliputtur. Jean-Jacques Rousseau was the great educator of 18th century. Which of the following is not connected with the principle of growth of development? Linear. The material learned today interferes with the recollection of what is learned yesterday is termed as retractive inhibition. Explicit attention is obtained by repeating act of will. What nutrition and reproductions are to the physiological life, education is to social, said John Dewey. The concept of level of aspiration was first introduced by Dembo. The Noisy Child and the Silent Mind was written by J. Krishnamurti, who is the psychologist who experimented on conditioning Pablo. One of the main objectives of education technology is individualizing instructions. Which of the following is not associated with the step of creativity? Conclusion. Comedy of error was developed in the 16th century by Johnson. That is Samuel Johnson. Here they have given the wrong spelling, but actually it was Ben Jonson. The spelling must be Jonson. It is a topographical error in this question paper. Which of the following is written by Shelley? Ode to the West Wind. She Stoops to Conquer is considered anti-sentimental comedy. The standardization of spelling was attained with the advent of a printing press. Shelley's Adonis bring to mind one of the following: elegy. Inscape and instress have been used an effective form of a poetic language by Hopkins. One of the following word is formed through the process called meta-analysis. An orange. Bernard Shaw was greatly interested in the reform of spelling. Byzantium is a it symbolizes an image of eternity. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had donned. Who speaks the above lines? Lady Macbeth. Who wrote the novel A Handful of Rice? Kamala Markandeya. Dark Lady appears in the sonnets of Shakespeare. The way of the world belongs to the type of a comedy, comedy of manner. In thy voice I catch the language of my former heart and read my former pleasures in shooting light of thy wild eyes. Who is addressed here? Dorothy. Why does not belong who to the triumvirate? Sorry, the question must be who does. Here they have printed why. Actually, triumvirates are Antony, Octavius, and Lepidus. Here they have asked who is not. So the answer is Julius Caesar. Tagore presents the problem of a people when a dam is built over a river in his Muktadara. Which of the following dialect came to be recognized as a literary standard in the Old English period? West Saxon. Who wrote the Biographia Literaria? S.T. Coleridge. The tragic flaw of Macbeth is overwhelming ambition. Which of the following is the historical play in 14th century India? Tughlaq. The play Measure for Measure is considered as dark comedy. Who wrote the play Lawrence Sahib? Guru Charan Das. Lyrical Ballads was first published in the year 1798 AD. Who of the following connected with magical realism? Marquis. Who wrote the poem Australia? A.D. Hope. Who wrote the novel Jude the Obscure Hardy? Young appears in the novel The Hairy Ape. The English belongs to the branch of Indo-Germanic family called West Germanic. Who taught me? You taught me language and you profit on it. I know how to cure. Who speaks these words? Caliban. Ned Kelly is the legend of a famous outlaw. Gandhiji is a driving force in the novel Kandapura. The poem about the Mongolian conqueror is Kubla Khan. Willy Loman appears in the play Death of the Salesman. Choose the following is associated with the technique the stream of consciousness. Virginia Woolf. Which of the following section does not find a place in the wasteland? Death by fire. Who among the following is not a romantic poet? Pope. Catharsis, meaning purgation, was introduced by Aristotle. The Old English showed great affinities with modern German. Harlem realism belongs to the 1920s in the city, New York. Dissociation of sensibility is the phrase popularized in critical circles by T.S. Eliot. The English pronunciation dictionary was introduced by Daniel Jones. The Great Expectation is narrated by Philip Fripp. Shakespeare did not write which of the following play? Caesar and Cleopatra. Immorality of art is the theme of the ode on a Grecian urn. The touchstone method was evolved by Matthew Arnold. Vers libre is the French term for free verse. The date of a Norman conquest was 1066 AD. About which school of poet did Johnson make the following remark? The most heterogeneous ideas are evoked by violence together. The metaphysicals. Who wrote the book Seven Types of Ambiguity? William Empson. As a retaliation to Thomas Love Peacock's Four Ages of Poetry, Shelley wrote A Defense of Poetry. A death to the mighty symphony of the wings and brooding over the lost empire of the speak. Who wrote these lines? E.J. Pratt. Who among the following is the postmodernist novelist? John Broth. F.T. Wood against the following date for assigns the following dates for Old English period from 600 to 1100 AD. A seminal book of feminist criticism, The Second Sex, was written by Simon de Beauvoir, who deals with wife of Belshazzar. Willing suspension of disbelief is the phrase used by St. Coleridge. When did Constantinople fall? 1453 AD. Who wrote the following lines? Some books are to be tested, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. Bacon. Bunyan Pilgrim's Progress is an allegory. In English literature, the sonnet was introduced by Thomas Wyatt and Surrey. So, this is the question paper of 2002 to 2003 PGTRB, and I have given it with the answer, and it will be helpful for your preparation. I will be back with more previous question papers of PGTRB in